Rishi Sunak, in a previous budget, announced the plans for 8 new Freeports in the United Kingdom. Okay. The only difference is these so-called Freeports have metamorphosized into charter cities. And quite frankly, this is flippin' terrifying. And you should be very worried, and should be campaigning against it. In some cases, already too late. Well, it went out to tender, and companies like DP World, etc., and Peel Group have got these tenders. They've won them. They've got the contracts. The same company, DP World, who sacked 800 odd employees from P&O ferries, and then, well, brought in vans and what have you, foreign nationals to do that work for a pittance. So what do you reckon's going to happen in a charter city? Oh, I wonder. Flippin' obvious. Well, charter cities are not Freeports, and I've talked about Freeports before. Freeports tend to, what happens is they become, if you've got more than one within a country, they tend to compete with each other. They also suck away from local authorities' funding for public services. Well, charter cities, like I said, are not Freeports. No matter what Rishi Sunak might have declared at the time, okay, he's buggered off now, isn't he? And he's not likely to be our next Prime Minister either. No matter how much he wants to be. Could be Liz Truss. And we're going to have Theresa Coffey as our Chancellor of the Exchequer. Or Nadine Dorries, ain't we lucky? Well, the government plans are truly sinister on an international scale. The idea here is not just to have these charter cities operating between themselves within the United Kingdom, but with other chartered cities, such as this, the one in Japan, I believe. I think it's one in Japan. Oh, there's nothing like this. No. And it has a different judicial system. So, yes, it's a bit of a dystopia, I would say, that we're going to be looking at. Not obviously, it's not a flick of a switch, obviously. But what we're going to see is over a period of time, things change to the point of not just private, like it did with Margaret Thatcher with privatisation over a period of decades. We're going to find ourselves down a slippery slope. It's going to be like, I don't know, Judge Dredd, Blade Runner, or something like that. Some kind of dystopia. Well, you think I'm exaggerating here? I feel like I'm exaggerating, but my God, if you read up about this sort of stuff, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to try and share it with you. And I've got the maps of those areas, and they're huge. Absolutely huge. About 45 kilometres in diameter. In some cases, more. Encompassing multiple areas within them. It's literally like carving out big chunks of the country and giving it to a private corporation. That's pretty much what it is. Okay, they're paying for. Oh, they bought a bit of the UK. That's what it feels like to me. Well, there is no doubt that we are experiencing another social, economic and industrial revolution through digital technologies. So this is all part and parcel, you see. Now, there are similarities and differences compared to the previous revolutions, because that's what it is. We're looking at an industrial revolution, a trading revolution of this kind. There we find positive and negative perspectives, don't we? Like the Industrial Revolution. We end up having nails that are made by machines. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Instead of some poor little geezer on an anvil, knocking about Rosehead nail. Yeah, no, none of that. Not now. Machines to do it. Well, we have early adopters of scared skeptics. And quite frankly, I think I'm a scared skeptic as far as this latest plan's concerned. It's truly terrifying. And we see winners and we see victims at all levels. And we will hear. We're going to see people who are going to make an absolute killing out of this. Just not you. Now, we had them when we asked ourselves fundamental questions in the Renaissance, when the steam engine, I remember it well, led to the creation of huge factories, when electricity and electronics deeply changed them too. We're living in another world now, aren't we? Well, we're going to be living in another new world as well, and it's frightening. Oh dear, we're going to be like this, we are. Yeah. We're going to all be controlled. They're going to put chips in our heads. Well, the new age tech billionaires financed and Insight were more interested they are in these chartered cities than anything else. Up and down the UK, not just for the unfettered exploitation of the UK's people and natural resources, which is undoubtedly part of it. You can't get away from. But they have, well, their sights on, well, they're set on more than just taking our money. It's like a power grab or like controlling the country. We should be really deeply worried that this direction we're going, like I said, it's not going to be a flick of a switch. It's going to be over a period of time, and it's going to be like drip, drip, drip. We'll see privatisation like we've never ever seen before. Bigly, you could say. Yeah, something like that.
You'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Well, so what are charter cities? Well, exactly pretty much as the name suggests. Privately owned and operated cities where everything from healthcare, education and the police force to legislature and judicial systems are ring-fenced from the host country. Yes, isolated from the host country. So like our current legal system that we have won't necessarily apply. Yes, it will become a privately operated fiefdom. Pretty much. I know it sounds exaggeration, but I really don't think it is. No, I think this is actually really scary. Really, I keep saying that, don't I? But I do, I think it's really scary. Yeah, like equilibrium. They're going to be burning all your art next. They are. They'll take away your culture. They've already started, haven't they? Getting rid of the band's ability to be able to tour the EU. And this all stems from Brexit. It does. Get into that in a minute. So all these institutions and more are operated by a private company that is accountable to nobody else within a chartered city. There's no independent or legal oversight of these cities. Just the rules that they set in their privately owned legislative bodies and enforce with their privately owned judicial system. Now, don't forget, this can't happen unless UK laws are changed. We're going to see a rollout of different bills, or we're going to see a rollout of bills that on the face of looks, oh, wonderful. Oh, the borders bill, oh, fantastic. And what they'll do is they'll hide other bits in the bill. Like, for instance, what they did with the borders bill, where they, well, if you're homeless, you're now a vagrant. And in UK law, you're an illegal. Just because you haven't got nowhere to live. That's their way of actually getting rid of, we got rid of homelessness. Yeah. Because you're no longer homeless, you're just a criminal. That's in our books now. It's the bar statute. Lovely, wouldn't you say? What's that say about us? Yeah. I do love Judge Dredd. So are you scared yet? Well, you should be, quite frankly. Because there is a mountain of evidence detailing the exploitation, corruption and lawlessness that these similar arrangements around the world cause. There is precedence for this. Yeah. Oh. Well, the sheer scale of this project, it's massive. It is absolutely massive. But we're talking about private money, you see. And it's likely to be far worse than that can be imagined now. It's going to... Well, in short shrift, there will be no public services to speak of. No. And everyone must abide by the laws set out by the corporate owners. That's what a charter city is. Or face the punishments that they define. There's some... My dog's in a scratch. I'm in a scratch there, Wally. Yeah, see the laws that they would define. Obviously, a lot of this is going to depend on legislative regarding before this can actually happen. But it's happening. Like I say, they've already offered the contracts. DP World and Peel Group have already got some. And the way they've set it out, I'll explain in a minute, but the way they've set it out is, I think it was like a Freeport within an area. But it allows that Freeport, because the judicial area is much larger, can expand. Without local authorities saying, no, you can't build that there. Just look up, people. Tell you what, we need Guy Fawkes to go in there, but a successful one this time. And sort out Westminster. We need to get rid of this lot. Even if it is flipping Keir Starmer and his 5-point Brexit plan, make Brexit work. Just need to get rid of these people before it's too late. This is seriously bad. It's really Sorry. All you need is 3 seashells and everything will be fine. Swear box. So, such an arrangement will only lead to massive human suffering and the enrichment of a few individuals. You know, like, well, Jeff Bezos, for instance. People like that. And others. Yeah, and who are, well, they're all pulling the strings, aren't they? How else are they getting away with not paying any tax, any corporation tax, or very tiny amounts? Now, the first step will be the complete deregulation of everything within the boundaries of these charter cities. Now, not the sort of light touch deregulation that we're seeing across the UK now, but a complete removal of all regulations surrounding workers' rights, environmental protections, and of course, their own business and tax obligations. Now, at the moment, within these contracts that have gone out regarding these freeports, there is actually environmental protections added into these contracts. So that's something I'm not quite so worried about. But what happens when they then get a grip? These corporations get a grip of that charter, so-called charter city. Well, they're going to be able to do whatever they want. Pretty much. We'll have no power over them. They'll get too powerful, you see. And with power comes dictation. There we go, well, Taco Bell restaurants are going to be everywhere they are. See all my movie references going on here. Got to lighten it somehow, I'll tell you. This is seriously depressing. Everything will be privatised, and these charter cities will operate under the rules defined by the Peel Group in Liverpool and DP World in London. Well, it's not just London, it's just a base. It's actually the United Arab Emirates. Yeah, it's just a subsidiary of. Which happens to belong to, yeah, the DP World in London, literally belongs to DP World, that happens to be in United Arab Emirates. And they decided to sack all those people on that P&O ferries, didn't they? And all of a sudden, P&O ferries, they've got they've got all up and running again, yeah. As though nothing's happened. With foreign nationals working for like £2 an hour or something stupid like that, whatever it might be. And what about all those people that got the sack? Just like that. Little video message comes up soon. I think you got to sod off. You're fired. Pretty much what it is. Grant Champsy stood on the key there and says, oh, they're very naughty people, they are. Oh, we're going to do so much about it, we're going to tell them off. Nothing happened. Just blur, 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 blur. Spas, 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 spas. That's all they ever do. Anyway, Grant Champsy, if it is the real name, probably not. So there's no getting away from this. It's just deeply, deeply concerning. And I know what's going to happen. It's just going to get brushed under the carpet. This video, for instance, probably won't do very well because no one will share it. Because it's probably going to end up being too long. And it's me. And it's, not enough people are talking about this yet. No. But they will. I'm sure. More and more people talk about it, but no one's going to listen. Because they're going to be told by this government it's going to be great for you. It's going to be an economic bonanza. That's what they'll be told. No, it won't. Not for you. This is effectively a tax haven. It's a tax haven with the ability to extract money out of the United Kingdom freely. Without any... No, it's just going to flitter away. And who's going to benefit? A few individuals with shitloads of money already. And there'll be a few more off the back of this, just like what happened when, with Russia and what have you, after its fall. Soviet Union and all that. You get a few individuals who'll make huge amounts of money. So sorry. But other private companies also going to... It's not only just Peel Group or DP World. Other private companies are going to get these contracts as well for other sites. Now, fact of the matter is, if you can't pay for healthcare, education, private security force, with a meagre wages that you're on, 7-day week, 12 hours a day job, in appalling conditions probably, that's too bad. It'll be your fault. suppose it will be if you hadn't done nothing about it to try and prevent this from happening. So, I need a drink. It actually froze for some reason. My freezer's, yeah, solid. Well, anyway, so how did we get to this point in the UK? Well, the government are about to give away entire cities, effectively, up and down the country. They've already started. Private companies. As with most of the joy in Britain these days, it starts with Brexit. It does. And if you follow the money, you'll get a good idea. Well, Matthew Elliott, the former chief executive of Vote Leave and founder of Taxpayers Alliance and Big Brother Watch, is recognised to have been instrumental in both the successful yet legally questionable campaign to leave the EU. They influenced a whole load of numpties, didn't they? To put that cross in the wrong box that they did. Well, it causes a subsequent huge shift to the right. That British politics has, well, never experienced before. It's... Look at this Truss, for God's sake. One minute she's on the left, now she's a hard right. She's manipulated. Or is she just trying to follow the money? Or follow power? She's doing what she needs to do to get into power. For her to get into power, she needs to have someone pulling her strings, and it'll be the ERG. And others, probably. Well, the decision to leave the EU was always about getting away from the democratic regulatory framework and international rule of law that prevented such arrangements on the basis that they are exploitive, environmentally dangerous, and a function as both tax havens and hotbeds for a raft of criminal activity, much like a mafia state would. Well, the vote to leave the EU has now been widely reported to have been influenced by several highly questionable and potentially illegal factors. Russian money, for instance. Never knew where that came from in the end, did we? Well, we did. But they won't own up. So, from allegations of Russian finance and influence, and illicit overspending and coordination by Leave campaign groups, Aaron Banks, for instance, to the controversial use of AI-driven data scraping from Facebook. That was exposed by Channel 4. Yeah, Cambridge Analytica. Remember that? Did anyone really say anything in the end? It's like, oh, well, that happened now, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, the vote's been made now. It's literally, we all voted for it. It's democracy, sovereignty. There you go. But it was never legally binding. We didn't have to take this route. Once we found that this was influenced by Russian money and like Cambridge Analytica and Facebook-driven ad campaigns, etc., etc., it should have been stopped in its tracks. And no, they still pushed it, even though they knew full well that it was fraudulent. But it seems it was fair and fair, and was definitely not a democratic vote. Now, there is scanned information publicly available as to what the government's plans are. They're not really telling us properly yet, except we do have the maps now. And these charter cities in the UK, all Freeports, as they are duplicitously referred to them to downplay the sheer scale of the territory that's been given away. Now, this lack of transparency has been key to get these things planned so near to completion. We had to push them through without, well, people saying anything. What I don't understand is if someone like me can find this stuff out, and I've been talking about this for some while now, they'll hold me in front of my computer. Why the hell doesn't Labour? Why didn't they say anything? This is madness. Absolute freaking madness. So yeah, so the lack of transparency that has been key to get these plans so near to complete. There's little chance that anyone would have voted for Brexit if they were warned. Well, they probably would have done that, actually. I don't think that's good. No. Before the vote, if they were voting to scrape their own rights or scrap their own rights and to subjugate themselves to corporate fascist overlords. That's exactly what they blamed the EU for. Unelected bureaucrats, they used to say, didn't they? At the frying pan into the fire is exactly what's happened. The UK is screwed. Absolutely screwed. Now, we know there are 8 sites already tendered out in England, and the bidding process ended on the 5th of February 2022. Sorry for all the funny noises going on in the background, but everything's a bit busy around there. Little beeps going on. Well, these are all the areas. See here, I'll leave this down in the description down below. I'm not going to read them all out because I'm going to show you the actual maps. 2 seconds, literally. Barely. So all call them DP Worlds, London Gateway and Tilbury Ports, Berwick, Havering, and Barking, and Dagenham, and Teesside. There's 8 in total. So here we go. Here are the maps. Let's give you the sheer scale of these things. Now, at the moment, as you can see here on this map, I'll give you a little idea. This one is East Midlands, Charter City, Freeport. Yeah. Incorrectly named Freeport. It's actually a charter city. They're scamming you. That's what they're doing. These aren't Freeports. What they're saying is not a Freeport. It's a charter city. Because the sheer scale, as you can see here, that sheer scale, that's the boundary. That blue blob, that blue line around that blue blob is the edge of the charter city. That's the judicial area, which could have all its own laws and rules. Now, the current plans are the little red blobs, as you can see in there, like East Midlands Airport. These will be Freeport areas. Yeah. The real plan is a charter city. Why the hell does it need to be that big otherwise? It's because that is the judicial area, and it allow the people running these so-called free ports to be able to do what they like within them. They'll develop within it. It will grow within that area. In this case, it's Burton-on-Trent, Derby, Nottingham, Loughborough, and Leicester. And then there's another one. Charter City East, incorrectly named Freeport. 45 kilometres across in diameter, which is encompassing one of the UK's largest ports, Felixstowe, Ipswich, Leeds Market, Colchester, Clacton-on-Sea. Yet again, you can't see it, it's a bit faint on here, but near Felix, you see there's a Freeport there, there's a couple of other little areas, which are probably going to be where bundled warehousing and stuff like that's going to be. Yeah. So yet again, unless they've got plans for this, why the hell does it need to encompass 45 kilometre diameter? Doesn't, does it? And then we have Humber Charter City. I'm correct to use my phone now. I'll see that in a minute. And then we have Humber Charter City, Freeport. That's 74 kilometres across. Hull, Heading, Scunthorpe, Cleethorpe. See the little red dots there? You might just be a bit faint, but that one's there, and the one over here, they're heading. It's. Did you see? I'm sure that are the alarm bells ringing yet? It should be. Over here, LCR, Liverpool City Region. Incorrectly named a Freeport. It's not a Freeport. How can it be a free? I'm going to repeat myself, I know, but how can that be a Freeport when it's that flipping big? That's not a port. Like a region. Bolton, Wigan, St Helens, Prescott, Liverpool, Berkhamsted, Warrington, Northwich. And you see there in Liverpool, a little tiny one there, and another one back here. And here, I don't know where these areas are, but anyway. And then we have Plymouth South Devon Charter City, incorrectly named Freeport. Dartmoor, Tavistock, Plymouth, Dartmouth. Yet again, you can see the ones which are being contracted out already. And they're going to grow, they are. It's going to bugger people's lives up. Same here. 73 kilometres across, including the whole of the Isle of Wight. Portsmouth, Southampton, New Forest. What are you going to do in New Forest? We're going to chop all the trees down. That's what they're going to do. That's my phone again. This is getting really annoying. I do apologise. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to answer this. It's the miss. How's my daughter? Okay. Can I call you back? Can I call you back? So I'm recording a video. 2 seconds. I'm not going to edit it out, no. I do apologise. It's quite a long video anyway, this one. So, yeah, Teesside, Charter City, Freeport, 44 kilometres across. Part of that's obviously going to the sea, so it's not quite as big in volume, but still blooming big, isn't it? And then we've got Thames, Charter City, Freeport, 33 kilometres across. Arkham, Dagenham, Hornchurch, Raynham, Purfleet, Tilbury, Stamford, Lee Hope. This is nuts. The only people going to benefit are the ones who already got the money. Not you. No. So each area permit is roughly a diameter around 45 kilometres initially, although some areas are significantly larger. The UK Charter City, nightmare. And these other projects around the world are all connected. Yeah. You see what's going on there, can't you? The main aim is to establish a network of strategically placed, fully independent cities around the world that will not only engage in a race to the bottom of standards for the residents, but also will exhaust the natural resources of the surrounding areas. They will be parasites on the countries and the communities to which they are attached, leeching everything from them while contributing absolutely nothing. Public services will just go. Never mind the fate of those unlucky enough to have been trapped within their boundaries. You've had no say. Shouldn't there have been a referendum for this? They didn't say that when you put the cross in the wrong box, did they? That wasn't written on the side of a big red bus, was it? Oh, we're all going to have charter cities. Well, this will ultimately lead to the establishment of a powerful cooperative trading defence partnership between the world's biggest businesses that have no desire other than to protect their own interests, wealth, money. They'll be controlling trade routes around the world with private security forces, financed by a never-ending supply of tax havens and exploitable cheap labour. That even has the potential of massively upset the global balance of power and the economy. God knows what the European Union is thinking about this. Crikey, they're going to do everything they can now to cripple the UK. A trade war over Northern Ireland Protocol, I reckon that's just going to be used as a flipping tool now. They'd say, hang on, that warrants it now. We're going to have a trade war with the UK. We need to cripple their ability to be able to do this. Nip it in the bud. Well, if a trading and defence cooperative of billionaires and exploitive businesses can achieve the goal, it will be the realisation of a dream decades in the making. Yeah. For the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg, probably, and Alexander Boris Triple Johnson, all their friends and buddies. Russian oligarchs. Wealth and power unchained. Ending democracy once and for all. And no matter who gets in, whether it be Rishi Sunak or whether it be Liz Truss, it's going to be Liz Truss, and we'll have Theresa Coffey or Nadine Dorries as our Chancellor of the Exchequer.
We're doomed.
Oh, yes. Either of them. Both of them would go with this plan. End of the day, it's Rishi Sunak's little baby, isn't it? And it's taken a real turn for the worse. This isn't, when they announced them as Freeports, either it's developed into charter cities without calling them charter cities, or he just, well, to do Freeports at the time, but it's evolved. I doubt it was the game from the beginning. This is just, oh, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do this? Or they've been getting advice from these people who lose money. Yeah. Anyway, you might think I've gone absolutely bonkers, but there's plenty of information out there. I'll put some links in there, sort of, so you know for yourself. Marina Purkis, she's been on Goodman Law in Britain. She's also been doing a bit of research on it as well, and I thank her for some of the links that she shared because that's kind of opened my eyes up big time. And also, I can't remember the guy, but the guy who supplied the maps, because he changed them up to make it more obvious where all the bits and pieces are. And I thank him as well. And I was on Twitter, you see. I've been talking. So I thank you very much for supplying them and sending me via email the high-res version. So it's very good. Thank you. I'll tag you in this video when I upload it. So, yeah, I would like to know what your feeling is. But are you concerned? Are you worried? Is this a little bit, how to put it, terrifying? Because I think it is. We look at 8 of these massive areas around the United Kingdom, pretty much splitting it up. Like a modular system of charter cities around. What they're going to do, they're going to have like monorails going through the sky between each of them. Yeah, probably. This ain't good. It really is not good. And like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, obviously. But they laid the rails, the tracks, to make this happen. Deeply worrying and concerned. Like I say, please leave it in the comments down below. And please, please, please click like and subscribe. You'll probably unsubscribe after this one. I don't want you that depressed and shit. I do apologise for all the phone calls and beeps that are going on, but hey, say la vie. I don't edit these videos, as you probably know. So. Oh my giddy aunt. Anyway, let's get these. Oh.
I don't want this son of slime in my stomach again.
No, son off. Lost. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's better. Oh, obviously that I would. Oh, and that, yeah. There's parasites. Yeah. Well, technically that's not the parasite, is it? No. It's the alien itself. The little thing, yeah. At the egg. That's the parasite, isn't it? So, let's say, please leave in the comments down below, and please, please, please click like and subscribe, and maybe a little bell icon, because I do appreciate, your support of the channel. It is very much appreciated. And if you want to support us, you can do it via Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links down below. Because we do put a hell of a lot when I make these videos, especially these sort of ones, the more detailed ones. I do put a hell of a lot of effort into them, and it's taken me a few days to get this all together, and write me bits and pieces and stuff. A lot. It's a learning curve like that. I do enjoy it as well, so I do admit that. But sometimes I don't, because it does get rather depressing. That it does. Anyway, like I say, please leave it in the comments down below, and I'm going to say ta-ta, because I'm rambling on again, and I can't help myself. So.
Welcome to the Brexit, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Ta-ta. Oh. Ooh. That one. Not that one. Oh, that'll do. Oh, that one.
Eat on all the bread or not?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, then we take them all. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, can I take off the meat and leave me the bread?
No, everything will be confiscated.
Ta-ta.
Welcome to the Brexit, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my